GameStop stock price is at a big moment, guys. Right, we have seen this very clear gap down from this previous level of rejection. Since then, we have been confluencing in a very tight pennant structure, which could lead to a lot of upside. That being said, my name is Dylan from Dylan's Trades. We're going to get straight into this technical analysis, wasting no time over on the weekly candlesticks. GameStop stock price has been a really clear image on the weekly analysis. Each one of these candlesticks representing 1 week. We're currently seeing 2 weekly candles at the floor, guys, being this rough range. There's a lot going on with GME. There's some erratic movements up, down, sideways, but keep it really simple, man. We've had this range dating back all the way pushing to May of 2024. Right, we initially gapped up from this descending wedge breakout, pushing all the way, I believe $65. Yeah, 64.83. We knife back down. We confluence in this area for 1 week, 2, 3, and 4 in this crazy volatile time, guys. We came down. We fully established this floor, consolidating very, very heavy within these obvious constraints. And from this point, guys, we've had a range set up. It's simple as that, man. Stock price hangs here for around 10 weeks or so, gets the breakout of this descending and more or less, descending resistance, but a tight pennant squeeze. We've seen the upside moving up to the top of this weekly range. We reject down to the floor. We get these obvious reversal signs moving up from 21.50 to 34 bucks at the ceiling. We hard reject down. We mentioned here, guys, that if we lose this 29.26, there's a lot of price action to move down, right? And this floor is an eventual level to watch, right? We did expect it to take a little bit longer if we were to come down to the floor, but we did get a gap down situation, obviously better seen on the daily. And as of now, we're revisiting the floor. So to see these nice 2 weekly bullish signs just looks great, man. Because we're seeing 1, 2, 3 red candles signifying a continuation within selling pressure. When you see some green candles forming, especially being tight, not a lot of liquidity, more or less building energy springing, you're really setting up that momentum for that red to green reversal where stock price prints green candles after a couple red simultaneously, squeezing up stock price higher as what comes down, guys, can come up, especially in a short-term perspective, guys. So we have been watching that on GME and looking on the weekly analysis, man. I mean, this is a textbook weekly setup. This is exactly what we want to see coming back down to the floor, right? The biggest chaos that could have happened, and we mentioned this within the last few updates, guys, is coming down to this super, super key level, right? Crushing below it, we chest it, and we start knifing down. That's not good, right? We want to see this red to green reversal step up. And not only being a red to green reversal, guys, it's a momentum change, right? I mean, we're down from these highs so quickly, 40% in stock price. So there's definitely a lot of like short-term bounce up, even if it's not signified for a solid movement to this eventual ceiling, which will be the target. As of now, we're seeing everything we want to see. So with that being said, there will be more data to come. So we can closely analyze this as we continue to move up higher. But looking on the weekly, man, you got to feel good about what we see. We're clearly basing out for 2 strong weeks, being very, very thin over at the floor from a quick rush down from the ceiling. One of the best signs you can see as a buyer, if you are holding GameStop, looking to trade GameStop to the upside, any sort of sentiment and desire for stock price to go up, you want to see these pennant structures, guys. With that being said, that's what we're seeing as of now, right? We've had a lot of touch points just in the last around 9 days or so. Notice how for this one big day, typically with these big gap downs, they really set the floor. If you can curl over the top of this wick, you can typically see price action continuation and eventual flip of trend to target this gap fill, which we did gap down at that 28.42, which is why we have that marked up, right? But if you break the floor, guys, you definitely can see more continuation. That is the number one spot where short sellers reemerge within the market as they have a good risk reward setup. When we come back down to this major volatility moment, short sellers can set their stop loss right above these highs and target down here. And, it really is just that stop loss moment for the buyers. It's a very heavy confluence where if broken, more downside could occur. And that's all we've been focusing on in GME. As historically, as we see literally not too long ago, just a couple months ago, guys, when we have these nasty gap downs, GME performs very, very well, right? If you defend this gap down low being this 21.48, anything above that, guys, you got to be bullish as we have a lot of red to green reversal and momentum, flip of trend to at least start to work our way back up, especially within the structural context of the weekly range. So straight away, we see this big wick signifying it's starting off this daily pennant-like structure. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points, which is pretty significant, guys, considering we only have, so many candles as of now, right? With 1, 2, 3, and 4 to the down. So a very textbook clear pennant structure, non-negotiable. Almost every single trader with any capacity can spot this. And being that we're down at this floor, guys, we're looking for these hints and clues to spot momentum to have that rise up to eventually get to the ceiling up here around these $33, $35 levels. So seeing a tightly compact pennant, guys, on the floor, right, defending these gap down lows. You got to lean bullish, guys. We haven't broke out as of yet. We will get into that on the micro analysis, but straight away, we're looking really, really nice, guys. This is great. So with that being said, in the past, we've continued to make these structures, guys. It's continued to play out and play out time and time again, right? In the past, we had this very, very big pennant-like structure, which led to a pretty easy movement from the floor all the way to the ceiling. This is obviously a huge scale moment, but notice how when we break out, we get the micro confirmation of another very similar structure to this, guys, right? Being this descending trend line. And you could take it from this big wide bar low and push it up here, right? Or you could say it's a flag-like formation with the channel being over here. Either or, they're both really validated with touch points, but you see a clear micro confirmation and a big movement up outside of that. And that really has been the trend, guys, even on these short-term perspectives, these, big descending resistance. So to see a really obvious pinch, we're almost always getting nice price action continuation after these pinches. So, straight away, we see a lot of potential just for the next few days. But we'll follow this if this does break out to the upside, which we suspect. And we'll have more clues as this continues to climb up higher. If this is something that's eventually going to, come down and take a dip, see what it's going to do down here, or if we just straight squeeze up euphorically. We don't have enough data as of now to say we're going to euphorically squeeze the 2842, but there's more of a probability that we do that and then go to fill this gap at these higher levels than just break up and just spike down. But as of now, we're getting a lot of indications and obvious clear signs that we have a lot of short-term momentum over the next few days within the stock price. Looks very, very nice. With that being said, guys, keep an eye on this breakout level, really being over this current hammer candle. Structure aside, we've had this clear confluence around this level with one body over here, right? A couple bodies and wicks hanging around this level. So if we can get a strong close over that 2380 rough level, you can see more continuation, guys. And likely within that context, we can move up a pretty measurable amount. You would expect at least an 8 to 10% movement within the next few days. In the last video, guys, we did establish about a 4 to 5 day bear flag setup, which we did set up and draw up and have marked up, guys. But we mentioned due to all the context, different stocks get different equations, as you guys may know. And, centering back to the weekly, which is why, multi-time frame analysis is key and most successful traders do this. We're at the floor, guys. From a big perspective, we expect upside, right? From the daily, we're defending these gap down lows, right? All the signs are adding up. Then we flip to the hourly and we're seeing this setup and this, bear-like flag structure, ascending wedge, whatever you want to call it, guys. It's the same thing, tomato, tomato, potato, potato, right? So we've seen the structure and we mentioned, guys, that despite having this be a pretty textbook setup, man, this is as clean as it could be. Due to the context, not really too worried about this at all. Could we see a little bit of short-term downside? Yes, but it shouldn't flip the trend. What do we see? We see the drop within that moving from 2350 to 2250 before immediately flipping and giving a newfound trend, which is much more bullish and friendly for the buyers in nature, being this nice tight pennant structure. Being that we have these higher lows, pressing up, setting that nice bullish divergence, but we also have this seller divergence where stock price is being pushed lower with lower highs. So we are in the apex of this structure where currently we only have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6, 7, 8 hours tops, guys. So even move around within these constraints. We're in the apex of this structure, so expect to move soon. Seeing that this bear flag, which we did scope out, we didn't put much stock into it, guys, but it's nice to keep an eye as it is a pretty big data point. As far as the hourly goes anyways, you notice how right away what we mentioned happened, guys. We curled back down and we squeezed up. Newfound trend, buyers being very, very bullish, confluencing on this systemic support, not being shy at all to hug on this level, do a good job defending it. We did push up to the top of this range for rejecting, immediately squeezing up higher with these wicks, this nice wide bar. We come down, retest that zone again. and we had a really strong close at the end of the day. So to see that nice strong close in the apex, it always makes you feel good, man. Because if stock price does open like a buck lower, so you got a little bit of insurance, you know. But as far as a seller perspective, if this thing opens up and cranks over 23.76, I mean, these sellers who've recently established positions in these spots, guys, they should get liquidated, further adding to that short squeeze like effect in the short term, leading to a really nice price action movement, guys. And I traded these structures for not too long, like about a year and a half, 2 years, and this is when I was a little bit more newer. But I have a great familiarity with these kind of structures. And just looking at this with all the signs, guys, looking on the weekly analysis, we're looking on the daily, we're gathering all this data right now. This current structure as of now, I would put around a 80 to 75% implied probability. This does break to the upside, leading to at least around this $26 level, around a 50% retracement amongst this gap fill, somewhere within that level, maybe 26.37. We will see as this continues to transpire, right? We don't have enough data to completely predict that. But this does look very textbook how we're printed out amongst this pennant in the apex, very, very bullish with a strong close at the end of the day. And we have trapped some short sellers amongst this vicinity, guys. So with that being said, keep an eye on the top, right? Being at 23.76, guys, we get a strong confirmation and potentially a breakout from this descending volume that we're currently seeing, guys. You see some big volume coming in with a breakover. Within that rhyme or reason, guys, we could see this ultimate gap fill at 28.42, which will be inevitable if we're going to continue to stay in this weekly range continuation, right? Come down to the floor, to the ceiling, right? Super simple weekly analysis. So it is good for the buyers here to have these sort of structures play out. As within the last few videos, guys, we mentioned we're just kind of shopping around in the daily. We don't have too much. We got to wait till candlesticks give us something, right? We see price action forming, and that's what we're seeing, guys. So we're seeing a lot of short-term upside to be had. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you found any value, consider like, subscribing, man. Continue to make these videos about 1 to 2 times per week. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys had a good day, man. Take care, trade smart, keep an eye on these levels, and peace.